Hello everybody, this is Ghost Hunter 385. I am back with more StarCraft 2, another topic, and more commentary for everybody. Seeing as that me jumping straight into the topic has worked, so we're just gonna stick with that until something changes. Honest, swear to Lord, swear on everything, we're gonna keep going like that. But anyway, let's get started with today's topic. And today's topic is basically my 101 for personal finance. Now, people will sit there and say, Ghost Hunter, why are you talking about personal finance? Well, simply put, it's something I've been meaning to talk about. And I keep putting off because, new topic, this topic, that topic. Yes, hello? Is this the nice young man who subscribed to my YouTube channel? I thank you very much for that. Now, if you would please leave a comment as well. I really appreciate that too, and don't forget to ring the bell. Thank you. But anyway, back onto topic here. These are my tips and tricks for financial prosperity, growth, however you want to say that. Now, first off, let's start off.
Yes, very bad.
Do your best to have zero, I mean zero, basically no credit cards, but that's my recommendation, but it's not what I do. For what I do, I have one credit card for emergencies. Beyond that, if I don't have the money, I don't buy it. Why is that? Simple. When you're a kid, going back to Ghost Hunter 385's childhood here, the answer to this question is straightforward and simple. I watched my father have to declare bankruptcy because he had too much credit card debt. Now, people will sit there and say, oh, that's sad, Ghost Hunter, but is that, that's your whole reason why? Yeah, that's the whole reason why. Too much credit card debt is bad for you. And not even being able to pay it off as well is also bad. You feel me? So if you're going to have a credit card, have one for emergencies and use it for, small purchases to help build your credit. That's direct financial advice from a military financial advisor too, right there. Now, that being said, credit cards to the absolute min. One, if you absolutely need it. That's it, flat out. Nothing else. Okay, we're good there. Now, moving on, I could go on to multiple different subjects here. So, number 2, live comfortably within your means. That means nothing crazy, nothing flashy. If you cannot afford, a brand new car and you need a car to get from A to B, try and find a reasonable beater here. That's your best option. Now, am I just gonna sit here and tell you guys that, I don't know, just go get that beater that's about to fall apart? No. That's not what I'm saying at all here. What I'm saying is find a car that will last you long enough here. Just for example, I have a 2012 car that, is, let's see, 2012. It's now an 11-year-old car. And my first car was over 20 years old. Trust me when I say this. Your best option when it comes to vehicles is not brand new vehicles here, folks. It is, new to you, but not brand new off the dealer lot, because, what's the biggest problem with driving a new car off the dealer lot? Yeah, guess what? As soon as that car leaves that lot, There goes half the value, just gone. Gone, 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 gone. And for those of you who say, oh, Ghost Hunter, that's a load of malarkey, I have a friend who is a master technician that works at a Ford dealership. And he has told me the same exact thing.
Interesting. Messy.
So when it comes to certain things, like cars and stuff, do not, I repeat, if you cannot do it, if you have to, get a loan, but do your best to put down an enormous down payment on this, so that way you minimize your interest and you also pay off as much of the principal as you can. Now, let's talk about debt here for a minute. How does Ghost Hunter deal with his debt? Basically, Ghost Hunter does his best to make sure there is no debt whatsoever. Credit card, if it's not paid off, I'm figuring it out. Now, what do I mean by I figure it out? I check, okay, can I pay off this credit card before the end of the month? I check my money, check what my weekly paycheck is going to look like. Okay, it looks like I'm pretty good here to have this paid off before the end of the month. Ghost Hunter is a happy camper. So, it's just learning to do this stuff is not always a one-trick pony, per se, here. It's not. But, it's getting down the basics and mastering it. You guys feel me? Okay, good. Now, on to the next part, because, let's see, what did I talk about? Okay, wasteful spending. Now, when I say wasteful spending, I'm not sitting here talking about what? I'm not sitting here talking about, you go to the bar and you have a few drinks with your buddies, or you go out for lunch with friends and family, or you take the kids out, whatever it may be here. What I'm trying to tell you right here and now is that do not gamble. If you're a man or woman, and if you're also a man or woman, do not go to the strip clubs. Why the heck do I say do not go to the strip clubs? Because if you're dropping money at a strip club, the only thing that you're going to be, you might as well just stand outside the door, grab all that money you're about to just drop there, just light it up on fire and just throw it out the front door. Because that's basically all you're doing with your money. You're doing that in both gambling and going to strip clubs, whether you're a guy or girl, basically here.
The swarm hungers.
Now, we could talk about over excessive partying too, which is something that needs to be brought up, but it's not in the scope of things here. So let's start off with gambling. I partake of gambling a little bit, but the most I do is $100. And as soon as I'm tapped out, I'm done. I don't do no more. But Ghost Hunter, you're saying you're losing money. Yeah, I know I'm losing money. But here's the thing. If, let's say I'm in Las Vegas, for example, and, I have, going to all the shops, going up and down the strip, going to Fremont Street, whatever, visiting the Mob Museum, visiting the Ghost Hunters Museum, whatever the case here may be.
Nothing stands in my way.
Here's the thing about Vegas. You can go there and gamble all you want, but the casinos aren't the only things you have to do there. They're not. They're the primary attraction, but they're not
The swarm never rests.
the primary, but they're not, the thing you go there to do. I mean, they do plenty of comedy shows and stuff there. So it's just a matter of, getting it all done. Who's there. blah 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 blah,
Let's get
or
this
any
over
place
with.
that you can go to.
There's not much
Because
time.
whenever there's casinos, you know, they have entertainers there too. There's magicians and
Nothing
other
stands
stuff.
in my way.
So I would recommend that if you
Get
do
going.
go do that, if you do go
Push
to
ahead.
Vegas or places where they do allow gambling, you know,
This war
maybe
never rests.
drop 100 just
Nothing
for
stands in
kicks,
my way.
which I don't even recommend myself. I do here, but you know, drop it for kicks and walk away and find something else to do. Because all you're doing
Get this
is
over with.
wasting that money, honey.
This
Then,
world
as
is
it goes for, I already said the stuff about the strip club
There's
for
not
both
much
men and
time.
women.
We have
Because,
met
and
the
you know,
enemy in
here you
combat.
want to hear the best example I heard of this. You know, the best example I ever heard was I was
This war never.
getting I was getting some type of lesson from a staff sergeant,
You have my attention.
and he basically sat there and he had a lance corporal, and you know the lance corporal was behind on his bills, and you know
Nothing
he couldn't
stands
figure
in
out. It's like,
my way.
where's all your money going? Oh, every payday weekend he goes to the local strip club, and what does he do? He blows all his money on a girl there, and he's like, oh yeah, she really likes me. He's like, yeah, I'm sure she likes you. Yeah, she likes getting paid. And you know, that's kind of the point there, is that I'm not saying, you know, not go if you're a guy, because you know, my tip, if you have to go to the strip club, is this: if you do go to the strip club for friends, whatever, you know, you just want to go scope it out, you want to check it
Push
out,
ahead.
you want to know what I would, you want to know what you know,
Nothing stands
other
in my
people have
way.
told me. Here's the best advice I ever heard. You don't go sit in front of the dancers. You don't go do that. You go sit back in a corner and chill and hang out. You don't do anything else. Because if you're up front, in front of the girl, you know, they're expecting you to throw the money. But if you're on the other side of the room and, you know, you're just kind of casually looking at
Who asked
her,
you?
and, you know, maybe one of the girls comes over and talks to you for a bit, you know, who knows what they do? Who knows what they're going to do? But, you know, if you sit there and do it right, the only thing you're paying is the cover charge. So, you know, I'm saying if you're gonna go do this stuff, at least do it smartly here, folks. Do it smartly. Now, oh jeez, what else do we want to talk
This war
about?
never rests.
Okay, let's actually talk about
Nothing stands
financial
in my way.
literacy here 101.
We need to
If
harvest this
the only thing you
biomass.
really know how to do is pay your monthly bills,
Push ahead.
and you can balance your checkbook or whatever you're using to,
going.
you know, assess your finances here.
This world is mine.
Here's my big recommendation to you. Try and find a free finance class, either online or at your local
There's not much time.
local community college. Now, why do I say go do that?
Nothing
Because
stands in
they're
my
going to
way.
teach you all the
Get
things that you were never taught in
war
high
never
school. Because a
rests.
lot of high schools don't have it be
Nothing
mandatory
stands in my way.
that
This world is
you
mine.
take a financial literacy course. And you know, why do I say that? It's because the high school where I went to, they actually mandated it, that you have to have that financial literacy class to graduate. And you know, it was a solid investment. And you know, I'm just saying, go get some basic financial literacy. You know, it doesn't need to be anything crazy. You know, learn the basics of investing, learn the basics of managing your money, learn the basics of you know, if you can, file your own taxes. You know, they cover the most basics of things. You know, identity protection and stuff. They give you just the bare basics. And the bare basics can save your life one day. Because it's the same concept of building a wall here. Now, people sit there and say, oh, funny joke, but no, I'm serious. Think of the wall as your financial success in the
Nothing stands
future.
in my way.
You have to start at the bottom to build that wall up. And the best way to start at the bottom is to know your financial literacy there. I'm not going to sit there and be like, yeah, whatever, but what's the best way to say this? I'm not going to sit here and, rub your face in that, but I am going to sit here and now and tell you that that is one of your greatest options, is go to a professional. And if you actually have the money, or you can find it free, go find a free financial advisor to get some advice from. It's well worth your time to get that information, because who knows what it's going to save you down the road. Should you not? That can just that 1 hour, 2 hour appointment for free could be a lifetime of savings saved. Shoot you not.
I think I like it. There's not much time.
Let's see. Basic education, credit cards, loans, vehicles. What else is another good thing to cover here? I mean, I could talk about necessities and non-necessities, but, in today's world, if you don't have internet access, you're kind of SOL. But, I will sit here and say this. If you're going to when you live life, live it, not extreme frugality here, but live it to where you can where you have as comfy as you can get. So that means if you want to buy that PlayStation 5 for $500, and it's just like, well, if I pay for this PlayStation, I'm not going to be able to eat for a week or two aside from ramen. If the PlayStation is more valuable to you than food, I think you need to reevaluate your priorities here. I mean, seriously, go reevaluate your priorities. But the point being is, pick the purchases that are going to do you the best. And, you can't not have food and water here, basically. So, if you can't pay for that PlayStation and you don't want to put it on your credit card because it's going to mess you up, then figure out how you need to save up to get that PlayStation. In a nutshell here, folks. Or heck, pick up another job if you have to, or pick up some type of side work. Because I have a job, and I also have some side work that I do as well. And, the side work isn't that great, or it isn't that plentiful, but, I still do it, and it's, I made over $300 doing it. And, it's just, you gotta line this stuff up, basically. Now, what do I do for my little side hustle? It's not YouTube, this is a hobby. But, the point is, and the point being, is that you need to basically live within your means. Now, don't live foolishly, but stay within your means as much as possible. And that's going to always be your best option. Live within your means, don't live above your means. And, if you know anybody who lives above their means, those people need a reality check. I'm not saying you give it to them. I mean, sure, you could give them some, advice, but that's it. And who's to say they're going to listen anyway? Now, from here, let's talk about investments. Now, there's low risk, medium risk, high risk. What are high risk? Stocks, collectibles, cryptocurrencies. It all varies. But, in a nutshell, basically here is that you need to pick and choose what you're going to do. And also don't forget your retirement. I'll get to retirements here in a minute. But, in a nutshell is, basically when you go to investments, your easiest and most safest investment is to go to a bank and get a certificate of deposit. Or you can try country bonds. Like, in the United States, for example, you can buy bonds, and the buying those bonds funds the government, helps fund the government outside of taxes. And, you also get a certain amount of interest off those bonds. And the same thing with a certificate of deposit and whatever investment accounts you can get. Now, am I going to sit here and say you should invest or you should not invest? No, I'm going to tell you to invest. Of course I'm going to tell you to invest. But, just make sure that, the funds are there to invest. Because, if you're spending, 12, 13, 14, 15 on rent, and, that's because it's more comfortable for you, I suggest you find a place where there's way less rent. So that way you have more income.
Yes?
And instead of paying for an expensive TV package, maybe pay for, I don't know, a couple of streaming services and just use that. And then use YouTube for like news and stuff. There's plenty of ways around to see your shows and to check out the local news and to see the news. I mean, if you really want to, go to I don't know if coffee shops still have televisions anymore, but if you really want to, head to local coffee shops, maybe a library, and just check out the news. There's plenty of ways to do this. It's just a matter of getting it done, basically. So, it's just kind of, pick your way through life. And if you have a way to, make life easier, less of a burden, that really works too. Like, let's say you live with someone who you can trust, here, as an example. Someone you can live with who you trust, and it doesn't mess you up. That helps. And, as for retirement, Roth IRA, and find some type of company that gives you a pension, because those are going to be your best options in today's current. And, that's not assuming that, you'll wake up one day, roll over, and whatever country you're in is falling apart. That's the, big if. Is that going to happen? Is it not going to happen? What is going to happen? Because you can never know what is going to happen. It's the reason why the future is extremely uncertain. So, this is my general list of tips here for everybody. If you think my advice is useless, that's up to you. But, this is kind of how I lived my life, and it's been successful for me. But this is Ghost Hunter 385, signing off. See you next time.